have a fantastic evening? Yeah. Great, so you will. Welcome to CUAN's first major fundraising event. What is CUAN? The Irish word CUAN means haven or a safe place, and the letters CUAN also translate as cancer, understanding and nurturing. And that is exactly what it offers sufferers of cancer. It's great to meet you again. The last time we met was at the fabulous Taste of Cabin.
Oh yes, it's a great show.
What can you say about the Taste of Cabin?
And it's one of our own, and it's just fantastic for families. The producers that are there and the chefs, we have a lot to offer in this county, and it's a great time to be in Irish food. And it was lovely meeting you there. You interviewed me, and I love that show, and I'll be back again this year because it's a very special show.
For Cabin and for Cabin Project.
For sure, oh for sure, absolutely. So that's what it's all about.
Having their own people in it as well.
Oh, you can keep it local.
Now, I just want to talk briefly about your new book, and that is Home Economics for Life. And it's a great book, folks. There's everything in it. It even has diagrams of the names of things in the kitchen. And if you didn't know anything about cooking, you would be able to snap up a great meal very quickly. But the word home economics reminds me of a school subject. And a little bird told me that you were the first boy in your secondary school to do home economics.
I was. I went to school, everyone in St. Clair's Comprehensive, literally 15 minutes from Blacklion, myself and my twin brother David. So, you know, when you're going to first year, you spend a few weeks doing woodwork and you do metal work. That one didn't interest me. Food was what I wanted to do. Maureen McMorrow was my teacher, and she was a fantastic influence on my career.
And I believe your aunt is a home economics teacher?
My Auntie Maureen, she's from Ballymahan, so all my Christmas recipes, Christmas cake, pudding, mince pies, they're all hers. So where the love of food comes from is at home, and home economics is all about cooking good, fresh food, what we're going to do tonight. And that's really, really important, and I'm very proud of that. Today, before I came, we had 14 young children from St. Clair's Comprehensive, and we cooked a couple of lovely recipes, myself and Claire. So it's just lovely to see young people taking an interest in food, because I think every young person should be able to cook, and home economics should be mandatory. I think every young person. Would you agree? Yeah. And we got to keep pushing that. I really believe in that. And I got slagged, and I got picked on, and people used to...
How did that go down with your comrades?
Listen, it runs off like water off a duck. People used to call me names and that, but I was very focused. I said, cooking was for me.
Okay, so you knew you had a love for food. Now, when did that love for food actually hit you first? Or when did you decide, yes, I love cooking, I love food? At what stage of your life?
Probably when I was about maybe 8 or 9, or really 12, I suppose. My mother was a great cook. She was fantastic, and all my family worked in the restaurant. So my first memories of food was making apple tarts, flapjack, shortbread, making a mess in the kitchen. I still do that. But getting a love of food from my mother. She was a great cook. She was fantastic. Great influence on my career. Not only cooking, but how to manage and how to work with staff and how to treat them like family, and that's really important.
So that's where your love comes. But it's one thing to be a chef, and it's absolutely another thing to be a celebrity chef and to be top of your game. Now, you tell me this, because this is like a bit of a self-help book here as well. You tell me this, did you dream big, or did you just follow through now?
Things happen for a reason, and I never thought that I'd have cookery books or be on television. That's not what it was about. It was about the love of food. And for me, having a family business, which we struggled for years, but seeing customers travel to Blacklion, West Cavan, and giving them a really good food experience. That's really what it was about. I never dreamt. That's not what I said, I want to be on TV. It was, I've got a lot of support and a lot of encouragement from so many people who I never forget and who I'm always very grateful for.
Okay, so they say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should set yourself up with a good breakfast. Now, you have recently won an award for your breakfast.
Yeah, we're so proud. Thank God we've won lots of awards, and it's all about the team. We have 65 people working for us in Blacklion, everyone. We have 14 chefs. And tonight we've got 60 odd people for dinner, so my head chef has been with me 13 years. We have a fantastic breakfast team. Marie, who is in charge of breakfast in the kitchen, she's with me 12 years. And Jerry, who's with me tonight, makes the most beautiful box tea. You all know what box tea is. Well, his is the best in the country, I think so. But we put as much work into our breakfast as we do for dinner, and we were very, very proud to win this award. It's fantastic.
Even though you're very busy, you are still expanding your greenhouse down in Blacklion. You have upgraded your kitchen, not upgraded, perhaps
Yeah, upgraded, you're right. Extended and upgraded.
And an extension to Macmillan. Very busy.
Yeah, it has been busy. We closed all of January, so we started this project a year ago, everyone, and we kind of extended our restaurant for more space. We have a new kitchen and a new reservations area, so it's really been a dream come true for us. We're 30 years open this year, which is a fantastic achievement for the whole team.
Questions
okay,
for you now.
go
now,
for it.
you don't know. I know you're a man that speaks plenty, but all you have to say is yes or no.
Okay.
Okay? So the first question is, do you ever do just beans on toast?
Yes. Heinz beans. Sorry.
Do you do your own food shopping?
Yes.
Do you clean up in the kitchen after you cook?
Yes.
Do you dream about cooking?
Yes. A lot.
Did you ever cook up a disaster?
Yes.
Do your friends invite you to dinner?
No.
Did you ever wish you did something else?
No way. Definitely not.
Do you sing when you're cooking?
Very badly. Yes, a bit.
Do you love cooking?
Of course I do, with all my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nevin Maguire.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Anya. Well done. Give a big round of applause to our MC for tonight. Well done. Thank you. Wasn't that nice? Getting a bit warm.
But Charlie, well done to you. We're having a great evening this evening. Isn't it a wonderful evening in there?
Absolutely fantastic.
It's
evening.
buzzing.
It's buzzing. When I walked in there and I saw it's a full house, I think there's almost 600 people in there sitting down.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoying the evening, and Nevin is in full flow, and it's a fantastic evening.
Yeah. And of course, it's an evening for charity where CUAN is its first major fundraiser, and it's really a great success. And you're pivotal in that. We're doing the launch of the CUAN pens, and it's totally and especially sponsored by yourself.
Yes, we were actually delighted to be asked. In actual fact, I didn't even know anything about CUAN or what it was about. I didn't even knew it existed until 2 months ago, until somebody came knocking on the door, everyone came knocking on the door and explained what they were trying to do and so on and so on, and that they were trying to raise funds and trying to get awareness out there. So based on that, it's like, unfortunately, cancer has become such a
yes, the statistic is very high. What is it? 3 out of 5 of us are going to be touched by cancer at some stage in their life. But look on the bright side, with research and treatment and all kinds of things, it's a journey that we don't go alone, and it's a survivor's journey as well.
Correct, yeah, and you know, unfortunately, it's kind of pot luck whether you escape it or not. But when we were actually approached, I said, okay, we want to do something a little bit more and try and sponsor this as best we can. So we came up with the idea of the pen, which everybody has in their goodie bag out there, and when they take it away.
What the pen is doing is giving people awareness of CUAN, and the phone numbers are on, the info is on the pen, and those pens will be, well, there's thousands of them going out, at least 1,000 going out tonight, and that is spreading the word of CUAN.
It's spreading the word is right, yes, because unfortunately, if somebody in actual fact is struck down by our friends, struck down by cancer in whatever shape or form, you know, at least now they have, okay, somebody they can talk to. There is somebody in the bigger family, sort of thing, so they're not on their own. You know, that's the
yeah, well done to CUAN. And a little word tells me as well, Pacelli, that when CUAN were in and out over the years, over the last 2 years, doing bits and pieces, and they said that in general you were very helpful to them. Very helpful to them.
We
had them in the shop, and there were using the photocopier and things like that, that you were very accommodating to them. I'd just like to say thank you on behalf of that as well. So I heard that from them.
Yes, I mean, a lot of these things kind of even go on all the time, because I have a saying in the next fact which I use as well with the staff, and that is, everybody who comes through my front door, whether they're buying a pen, a newspaper, doesn't matter what it is, they are actually sponsoring us. And when somebody comes along and looks for a sponsorship, whether they're doing a walk and a half marathon to raise money for whatever charity, we always sponsor. We never say no. And we're delighted to be in a position to sponsor.
Well, that's excellent. That's very magnanimous of you, and well done. And thanks for all the work that you do for CUAN.
Well, as I say, we're absolutely delighted to be part of this, to help out. and to be part of other charities as well. And so on.
Yeah, you'd like to stress that as well, that you do help out other charities as well. And well done, thank you.
No problem. Thank you very much.
I've caught up with Dermot Murphy and Kevin O'Reilly, and Dermot is the
Simply Better brand manager.
Simply Better brand manager
for Dunn Stores.
For Dunn Stores, well done. And of course, Kevin is the manager of Dunn Stores in Cavan Town. Just to speak to you first, Kevin, we were just speaking just a second ago about how long Dunn Stores in Cavan. Now, you do know that in Cavan we still call where you are the new Dunn Stores. Tell me how many years it's there now?
I think that's incredible. We're 24 years open on the 4th of April.
Oh, we still call it the new
still
Dunn
new
Stores.
Dunn Stores. So people do, a lot of customers have called it new Dunns, so we're doing very well, things have done.
And just what people are right about the new Dunn Stores and the old Dunn Stores. The old Dunn Stores is up the street, and it's called Dunn Stores Home now. And that came to, I'd say that came to Cavan back in the 1970s. Do you know?
Yeah,
we weren't around, but do you know?
Early 1970s. Yeah.
Early 1970s.
Well, we have fantastic pictures of black and white pictures of people going down with old bangers of cars down Main Street.
Yeah, and the traffic was both sides of the street.
Yeah, they could park anywhere, that's it.
Amazing stuff. So a great night tonight, and a night where actually Dunn Stores is very much to the fore, to be honest. A Simply Better brand, an up-and-coming, a great big brand, a well-known brand, if I have to say, Dermot. And you have sponsored wonderful stuff this evening. Now people are going home with their goodie bags. But just to tell us a little bit about the Simply Better brand.
Okay, Simply Better was redeveloped in 2013, and we have 400 products in the range, with about 75 producers. Over 50 of those producers will be from Ireland, and some of those producers, we have 80 producers here tonight, with a lot of local producers, and from Orange Chocolate, who does all our Simply Better chocolate range, and our new Simply Better Easter egg, which has just launched
Did you
this
call
year.
it an Easter egg?
We call it an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, single origin Colombian egg, but we still know it as an Easter egg. And we have Sticky Toffee pudding supplier here as well, Katrina from Hussar Pudding, who we just down the road in County Meath. So we've over 75 producers, as I said, of which about 50 of those will be based here in Ireland. And we're going to chat to some of them later on as well.
So what the idea behind a brand like that is that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you give a superior brand at a better price to people?
Yeah, the whole ethos behind the brand is that we give a superior quality product at an everyday price, and it's available in all our stores nationwide, so it's accessible to everybody. We very much working with the producers was getting back to basics, so there's nothing added, really clean ingredients, good ingredients, and it's working with people like Anne in Orange Chocolate or Katrina in Hussar Pudding, and that's what they do, they just make good food.
And of course, listening to Nevin tonight, that is the way to go with wholesome, good food. The less you put into it, the better.
Exactly. Covered ingredients, and the less you add to it, the better.
For our weight, for our health, and for everything.
And for our well-being.
And for our well-being. Now, to get back to Dunn Stores, I have to say, Kevin, that Dunn Stores in the community, the new Dunn Stores that's there for 24 years, and yourself as a manager in Dunn Stores. Dunn Stores is a great friend to Cavan people. During the year you are involved in many other charities as well, and of course people, when they have their Flag Day and they have their bagging at Christmas and they're looking for money for charities, Dunn Stores always seem to facilitate this kind of thing.
Yeah, well, we definitely try to help the schools, with bikepacking. All the local organisations will come to us, and with the car park, every week we try to have somebody and help the community. And we do a lot of sponsorship, particularly with the schools. And here tonight it's great to see all these familiar faces that have no one coming in the shop, and the atmosphere out there tonight is just fantastic with all the tastings going on. And it's a really great night for all, and people are really enjoying themselves with all the tastings that go in, and they're really enjoying Nevin, because people are, you can hear being dropped in there with Nevin, and the stories he's telling out there is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
And of course, I just want to say one more thing about Dunn Stores as well. Of course, as we heard earlier on, Nevin has upgraded his hotel, his McNeil House and restaurant. But also Dunn Stores has had a makeover over the last year. You've got the nice new fancy change in rooms, and the colour scheme and everything. It's bigger and brighter, and the Savita range is wonderful. And yeah, Dunn Stores is looking classy.
Yeah, no, we've extended the store as well. We've got new floors in with a new range of bread in. Our fresh food department is going very well for us. And the store is doing extremely well with even all the competition around, and with our new brands, and then €10 off 50 as well. We're at capacity.
And every little helps. I know that's a test mistake, but every little helps.
Every little helps, So we're very pleased with things are going at the moment. And we are the #1 retailer in Ireland at the moment on stores, and again with the buyers and the good products coming in, Simply Better products is growing all the time. People are coming in looking for Simply Better products, and which is great. So.
And to get back to you, Darren, on that, Kevin was saying that the Simply Better products are growing all the time. So therefore, you would be keeping. Sometimes women when they're shopping, they like a certain thing, and if it means a trek all the way down the street to another shop, you do it because you want that product. But is that the idea behind Simply Better as well, that you will get a really, really large range of household?
Yeah, food products. We've over 400 products, as I said, and expanding. We've plans to add probably another 80 to 100 products to the range this year, which we'll do again next year. We're constantly out there looking for new suppliers and new producers. With only 400 products, the range it's endless what we can add to it. Thankfully, very little has fallen out. The brand is growing every year and continuing to grow. So, like that, customers are getting used to our sausages, our rashers, our steaks. And there's real loyalty to those now. They're staying there, and people are buying into them more and more and enjoying them more and more, which is great.
Okay, so the emphasis nowadays is on being healthy and eating more healthy foods, and of course, Dunn Stores carries a good range of food. We were talking earlier about celiac foods, and also with warnings on packets and everything like that. Kevin, is that something you're developing and working on all the time?
Certainly, if you come into Duns and Cam, the lead-in is in with gluten-free products, and people are looking for a bigger range of gluten-free, sugar-free products, healthy products. And with Simply Better, we have a lot of orange chocolates locally made as gluten-free as well. So big growing market, people are getting very health conscious and reading, cookery magazines all the time, looking at the cooking on television, like Nevin's programs and all that, and looking for different products all the time.
Of course, that's the way you see menus today. They always specifically name things that are gluten-free or peanut-free and things like that. That's the way we're going.
Definitely on this way, and that's what people are looking for, and that's what we would call it out in our packaging as well. So you'll see on the back of pack for products like, as Kevin has mentioned, our chocolate bars, we'll call it gluten-free. Our new egg or Easter egg will be gluten-free, and also the crisps that we have here tonight from Glenn's of Antrim will be a gluten-free product as well. So you'll all see that in the back of our packaging, very important. And we're now seeing a lot more when you're in stores as well. Customers are looking at packaging and looking at the ingredients, looking to see what additional information we can give them, and that's so important, and you can see that now happening a lot more in stores. People want to know what they're eating and what's in their food.
Well, that's great to know.
Yeah, but even on vegan products is growing all the time on fruit and veg. People are looking for vegan all the time now as well, which new range of vegan products in the store, which we hadn't this time last year, and they're doing very well for us.
Yeah, okay, so folks, now you hear it. If you have got special dietary needs, you want to go totally healthy, Dunn Stores has all your needs. Well, what girl doesn't like a bit of bling? And I'm talking to the very lady who knows all about bling, and that's Kate Neal of Absolute Jewellery Design. Your bracelet, you were very kind. You sponsored 10 fabulous bracelets to CUAN for the snap raffle spot prizes tonight. Everyone's really excited about them.
Well, it's nice, 10 bracelets, it's very good, but look at the cause, CUAN, how could you not?
Yeah,
they are brilliant.
You know the people
brilliant.
on the committee, and they
I
are
do.
mesmerised with the
Yeah,
great work that
yeah.
they've done.
I know a few of the girls personally, I know how hard they work, and it's fantastic. The crowd here tonight is unbelievable. Yeah, and we get to showcase our jewellery, which is brilliant as well.
Yeah, as I say, what girl loves to get a bit of bling.
Yeah.
But CUAN, the good work CUAN has done, and as we spoke to some of the people before, unfortunately, the statistic is that 3 out of 5 of us will suffer a cancer at some stage in our life. We are now surviving cancer. And that's what CUAN does. CUAN is offering a little service where the medical team is out of the picture, or perhaps families are even out of the picture. They don't know how to deal with somebody who has gone through this. And that's what CUAN offers. It offers a haven where people can go and chat about their burdens and their...
Absolutely brilliant. There isn't a service like it. You know, everybody needs a shoulder to cry on, a cup of coffee, chat.
Exactly what CUAN
Helps
does.
everyone, yeah.
So Absolute Jewellery Design is doing really well in town. It's the place to go to when you're looking for something to match an outfit.
You're very
Because I know, because I'm in there nearly every week.
Yeah.
But not only do you do jewellery as well, you branched out, and I remember earlier when you started out first, and you branched out, and also you do fabulous line in scarves, the woolly hats that were so popular this winter. You know, the hats with the bombs on them, the pom-poms on them, and bags,
all accessories,
gloves.
you name it, we have it.
So let's talk. I always get this mixed up. Absolute Jewellery Designs, that's your own name of your shop?
Yes, we have 2 retail shops, one in Cavan, one in Monaghan. But my daughter has the wholesale end, Arlene, yeah. She supplies 300 shops in Ireland. She's everywhere, she designs and has the jewellery manufactured.
So that's where Absolute Jewellery Design
So that's where it comes from.
Yeah. And well done, Arlene, and yourselves. You're great force in there in the shop.
Yeah.
I think you were, I just saw a clip where you were on, was it?
Ireland Day.
Ireland Day, and you
yeah.
got some of your
Nice
jewellery
little
was worn.
slot, yeah, on Ireland Day, which was great. It gave us a great boost. People came in to buy what they could see, and yeah.
And of course, it's a great place. If you don't know what to buy for somebody, you just go and get to them.
We would find something nice.
Yeah.
Always.
But if people don't really know,
the
just as good you go in.
Oh, the gift voucher is great. If you need something, then you go in, your handbag for the wedding, or your jewellery, or whatever.
Well done.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you, Anya.
and on behalf of CUAN, thank you for your great
It was fantastic.
And you
pleasure.
appreciate the work that CUAN do.
Really appreciate it, and it was great to be involved.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
And I've caught up with a very busy man indeed. Paul Henry, General Manager of the fabulous Hotel Kilmore here in Cavan. It's a great evening. I'm saying this to all my interviewees tonight. A great evening out there, Paul. It's really buzzing out there. The hall is full. And I must say as well that it is so good of the Hotel Kilmore that you are actually sponsoring the night here. You have given this hotel free tonight for the people to organise this, to raise money for CUAN.
We're glad to do it. CUAN is a good charity, a good organising committee. They've nearly 600 people.
Every detail looked after?
Very well done. Must say, congratulations. So left no stone unturned.
Absolutely.
Massive prizes for raffles.
Fantastic. And I'm so looking forward to the raffle to see who wins what. I wish I could win the prize.
Sure.
There's a pair of fabulous earrings, diamond earrings, folks. Real diamond earrings. What a girl would do for a pair of real diamond earrings. Fabulous prizes out there.
Great prizes, so very well done.
And just to let people know how accommodating you are here, that the committee initially thought, wow, if we get 300 people tonight, we'd be doing really well. But the ticket sales, they soar and they soar and they soar, and you accommodated. And I think we could have upward 500 people, maybe more tonight.
Probably a little more. We had nearly 600 chairs out, so well done to everybody. Yes, it's great.
And of course, it's no problem for the Kilmore to offer a venue like this and to be able to hold an event like this.
No, we have 2 big function rooms. That's the champagne suite there. It seats 650 comfortably. And another country club we run on a Saturday night. We do country dances every Saturday night. This week.
Of course, weddings.
There'll be a lot of weddings, but weddings.
Yeah, it's the place to go to for weddings.
Thank you, thank you. With weddings, we do 3 lovely gardens for wedding gardens.
Fabulous for photographs.
Fabulous. Fountain garden at the front, courtyard, and a water feature garden at the back.
Fabulous.
And we do all sorts of menus to suit all sorts of families, whatever.
Yeah, so well done to the Kilmore Hotel. And of course, what I'm hearing from the CUAN committee as well is that even though the committee have organised tonight, year on hand, members like yourself, and I even see Ross buzzing around tonight, that year on hand to make sure, even though the committee have made things go perfectly good, that year on hand as well to make sure everything really does go right.
We were delighted to help. It's a great cause again. It's all the local people that's out there, so it's great to give something back.
It's all local people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some back to them.
Well, thank you very much. I know a busy man, Paul. Thank you very much for talking to us on CUAN TV, and great success for the rest of the night. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're nearly finished. To our MC for tonight, Anya, you've done a super job. Well done. I know you're not finished yet, but thank you very much. Well done. And you know, when I was asked to do this, I want to thank one of the organisers who has put so much hard work and energy into this, and she's been liaising with Andrea. Andrea works in our restaurant. She's my guardian angel. So this was booked months and months and months ago, if not nearly a year ago. But sincere thanks. It couldn't be a year ago, because they only opened at the centre before Christmas. But thank you to all of them for all our help. Well done. And your team. And your team. You can do better than that, guys. You've been a fantastic guys. Well done. You know, the attention to detail, from getting all the aprons, selling the tickets, getting all the producers here, getting all the sponsors, this would not happen without the hard work of this committee, guys. We only turn up on the night, we have to do a bit of preparation, but it's the committee that make this a great success. So take a bow, all within the team. Well done. We're going to do the raffle now, but on a personal note, I want to thank you for the support you've given me through my career, coming up to Black Lion. And thank you, I'm so proud of where I come from. And I hope you'll cook some lovely recipes. And if you want to ask me any questions afterwards, you've been an amazing audience and you've been so generous. And thank you so much. I mean that. Thank you very much. So we're going to do the raffle now, is that okay? It's all yours.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant, Nevin, and most enjoyable. Thank you very much. Give me a hand, please.
Okay. You're welcome.
Now, the chairperson of CUAN, Ms. Rosemary Yoziazi, would like to thank Nevin and say a few words on behalf of CUAN. Rosemary.
Thank you everybody for coming. Nevin, that was a great evening and thank you so much. I just have a little story to tell. It's only very short. The first year that Taste of CUAN went out to the Equestrian Centre, Nevin was there doing his bit, celebrity chef, and CUAN we would stand there that year. It was to kind of promote our group, say what we were doing. And I remember saying to Kerry, I would love to ask Nevin, would he come on board and do something for us? But I didn't have the courage to do it in that time. So anyway, there was one person who did have the courage to do it afterwards, and that was Alwyn. So Alwyn, after you did our opening for us last year in September, Alwyn was on the ball. You had promised that you would do a fundraiser for us, and Alwyn was on the ball, emailing, trying to get times that suited everybody, particularly you, because you've such a busy schedule. So we managed, and we got there, and you're here tonight, and I hope that this will be the first of many occasions. Thank you so much for being here. I have to let it sink in. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, but firstly I would like to thank the Kilmore for the great event here tonight. It's beautiful, everything was to perfection. Worked very hard and worked really well with Alwyn to get everything down to the very last. The dots were on the I's. Then we had Dunn Stores, who provided our goodie bags. They were out in the hall all evening doing what they do best. They had a lovely selection, and especially their Simply Better brand was very well advertised here tonight, and it looks brilliant stuff, I have to say. Sorry? And it tasted good. And they also provided the Prosecco and the nibbles. Everything was really, really good. For Anya, thank you, Anya, for being our MC for tonight. You put a lot of hard work into this as well, with preparations. And then, of course, everybody, you, the audience, because of you, we wouldn't be here tonight. And really, it's very much appreciated, and I thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. I'll tell you a little bit about CUAN. We're a self-supporting we're a self-fundraising group in Cavan. We have people who have been on a cancer journey or have been. We have their families. We provide free of charge therapies, counselling, and these therapists and counsellors that are involved with CUAN are all recognised by the Irish Cancer Society. Then we have our volunteers, our group of volunteers, because without the volunteers, this wouldn't have happened tonight. That's why it took us so long to get Nevin, because it was only a few volunteers. We only had a few volunteers, and we wouldn't have been able to do this on our own. So we have volunteers who have done the core skills course that's recognised by the Cancer Society. It's just a very basic course. It's about confidentiality and just being in a nice, that they're in the space and that everything that's talked about stays there. What else? We have a drop-in centre, which is open Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and there's fundraising needed for that. Council have been very good to give us the room that we have, the premises that we have, at a very nominal rent, very nominal altogether. So with the fundraising, we've had lots of people doing fundraising for us in the last few weeks. We had a lady did a coffee morning for us. We had Feroge in Kilgary, they did a 24-hour stay awake, which was really great. We need all these funds to provide the services that we are giving to the people. And it's the volunteers really that I would love to thank, that I want to thank, because without them we couldn't keep going doing what we are doing. Thank you everybody. I thank everybody for all the hard work that you put into it, making this such a successful evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And I hope there's a few people looking here tonight with all the lovely spot prizes. Thank you very much. Sorry, there's just one more thing, and then I'll let you go. We heard Little Bird told us that you have a plan to open up a garden in your centre in honour of your parents who passed away. So we would like to offer you a little gift from CUAN and to thank you for being here tonight. Look at the wrong side. Look at the wrong side.